I see it train moving all too fast, but I'm not leaving. And you go round and round and round, and you cannot see. I'll be right behind you, honking the tree. You look so beautiful today, and how the game is changing. Just like a stranger, suddenly you know something.
Welcome to Zagreb. We're standing in the center of the city, and the streets immediately surrounding it are all walking streets. So today we're going to venture off and see a few sights, and we are taking you along.
This is the city center of Zagreb, and as you can see, it is by far not only beautiful, clean, but quiet. This guy on the... First of all, I gotta back up a second and tell you, we're not experts on anything but our own personal experience as we travel, and that's what we share with you. We'll show you some things, we'll probably mispronounce a lot, and we'll give you a little tidbit of historic information as we can, and it's nothing that you can't look up on the internet itself. So we're just going to kind of give you little tidbits of information to keep the story moving in the right direction. Now this guy right here, his name is Ban Jeliak, and I happen to know that it is actually Ban Yosef Jeliak, and he was one of the kings, and that's why they're honoring him here. I'll give you a little bit more information a little bit later, but right now we are going to actually go this way, and we're going to go down this alley through a flower market and up the stairs to a farmer's market, which will lead to the old cathedral. Jeannie, why don't you tell us about a lot of the renovation that's going around here?
Well, it's only my assumption, but a lot of the buildings are under reconstruction, and I think it's because of the recent earthquakes that occurred here. I think 2020 and also beginning of 2021. They had earthquakes here, so perhaps that's what they're doing, or they're just giving the city a facelift.
So a lot of these buildings you'll see will have scaffolding on them and cloth, and doesn't mean that we can't get into them necessarily. but you will not be able to see the full beauty of what it really has to offer until the renovations, reconstructions of these historic buildings are done. This is a very walkable city.
Matter of fact, we didn't rent a car until after we're leaving.
Good morning. Oh, not just yet. We're gonna do a little walker through, some filming, and then thank you. Okay, so I got to give you another little tidbit of information. What you're seeing here flying around the watermelon, they're not flies, they're bees. They're like probably honeybees. There are literally no flies in all of Zagreb. Okay, let's do the outside and then we'll come down the rows. Everything here is fresh, organic farmers market. They bring it out from the outskirts, from the farms, and sell it down here every single day. But again, pro tip, get here early. If you don't get here early, these people are gone by 12 o'clock, they're gone. You have to excuse me. Jeannie pointed it out that I've been mispronouncing it quite a bit. It is not Zagreb, it is it's not Zagreb, it is Zagreb. That's how you correctly pronounce it. Here's another thing I gotta stop and tell you. Last night I had a plate, and on that a plate of prosciutto and soupçon and different cheeses and all sorts of nuts and things like that. They had a little dish of honey. The honey here is, you've never had honey so good in your life as you have in Croatia. It is delicious. And I'm thinking that's saffron. Is that saffron?
This is pollen. Pollen.
Pollen. Of what?
From flowers.
Okay, so flower pollen. Is it sweet or not necessarily?
No, it's not.
But at any rate, it is so delicious. Here you got the honeycomb right there. This guy specializes in these delicacies, and I've had it, and I highly recommend it. That if you're here in Zagreb, definitely stop by and see this guy. Okay, so somewhere around here, there's also supposed to be another market, underground market, and that could very well be down here where they actually have the butcher shops and the fish shops. Let's go see if we can't find that. Now, if I had to guess, I would think you would go down here. This is either the fresh market or the subway. Not quite sure. But we're about to find out. Yes, this is the underground market. So you come down to the far end and what you do is go down to the bottom, and now you have all your fresh meats, poultry, and fish. So perhaps it's raining that day. Nevertheless, you come down here, you can still get your stuff. There's still vegetables. As usual, as you know, I like to go around the circumference first and then work out my way up and down the aisles. Here's all your fresh meats of assorted types. Beautiful, fresh. Here's your cured meat. I'm sure we're going to find a lot of other places that specialize in cured meat. You have your lamb right there. Sausages. Here's smoked ribs, if you like that. And indeed I do. Now over here you have your smoked meats. And they'll cut it any way you want. That's probably bacon. All sorts of different meats. You come to Croatia as an appetizer. Order the Dalmatian platter, which is smoked meats and cheese, assorted smoked meats and cheeses, and also things like olives and nuts and walnuts and almonds that you dip in honey to break to cleanse the palate, and some other assorted stuff. And we'll just continue on down this way. That looks like burgers with a bagel. Sausage patties. Everything looks really good. All your sausage links. Smoked pig knuckles, what have you. Hot dogs, I love hot dogs. That'd be great on the grill. Check out all those smoked ribs right there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Everything here is, oh, here we go with the smoked meats. This is your smoked meat specialty shop. I'm shooting video first. See, it's all wild boar is what she's saying. Everything here. Very, very nice. I'm gonna go around and shoot video, then come back and buy. But first of all, good morning and how are you? Good. And this must be another very popular butcher shop, because when you see them lined up, you know it's good. Some of the best honey you've ever had in your whole life, and homemade mustards. You cannot go wrong buying any of this. If you don't know what you're buying, just buy it anyway. Guaranteed. You like prime rib? They got prime rib. Here's another smoked meat specialist. The lady back there was asking me to try stuff. I told her I was shooting right now, but I'd come back. This is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Stunning. We'll go over here, look at some more variety. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm pretty curious. Beautiful beef, absolutely magnificent. They'll help you decide which one to get. If you want chicken, duck, they have it here. Crown of pork, loin of pork, beef. You want a tenderloin? They got it. You want aged ribs for your smoker? They got that too. They do have some bread and pastries here, and it's beautiful. I'll show you the big clip where I got thrown out of a bread store. I'm 63 years old. I haven't been thrown out of places in a long time, since back in my drinking days, but the other day, I got thrown right out. You like bakeries and fresh goods? They have that here. Give you a quick pass through. Because she didn't like that. Here's some cheeses if you want cheeses. Nuts, prunes, almonds. You dip all that stuff into their honey and you really got something going. And this lady specializes in cheese and oil and vinegar. So they're pretty damn famous for their olive oil here in Croatia, and their vinegar, their balsamic vinegar is off the hook as well. You like caviar? They have that too. Or I may be wrong. That could very well be some truffle. Here's a store that specializes in olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And Good Morning. And bread shop, you like bread? They got every type of bread you could possibly want. The bread is phenomenal here. You make no mistake getting any of them. Pastry after the pastry. There was a pastry shop yesterday that Jeannie and I went to. It was crazy good. Crazy good. Everybody here, all the locals, I'm sure have their very favorite stall. This lady has nothing but smoked meat. And some assorted cheeses that would go with it. And you can make your own platter. This area is strictly for your cheeses. So we'll take a quick look through this and see. Beautiful Croatian cheeses and homemade pasta. Look, she's making it right now. Good morning. And more cheese. You can see where they're actually making it right there, and they're going to dish it into your containers. And another honey and different types of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And here's some fresh juice. See this stuff? Fresh juice. We have cranberry juice in the United States, but we do not have black currant cranberry juice. And we had it the other day. It was incredible. Really, really good. Not too sweet, not too sour. You mix it with a little bit of their spring water. Oh, it's to die for. And again, fresh cheeses. Here's another mushroom shop with every type of fresh mushroom you could want. Shiitakes, regular oyster mushrooms. These are dried out mushrooms. And I believe those might be, these are the truffles. Truffles, right? Yes, it's been confirmed. Olives, dry goods. If you want fresh olives, here you go. If you like olives, look at all these different variations of olives and cheeses. Artichoke hearts, sun-dried tomatoes, sardines. I believe they call them smelts here. Not quite sure. Oh, there's some smoked salmon right there. Every type of cheese you could possibly want to go along with all these goodies. And they're lined up here, so let's see if we can get a quick look. This looks like just a little grocery store for odds and ends. But anyway, you can get the picture of how deep it is for this cheese section. And I'm going to cut it right now, and then we'll start rolling again when I find something interesting. Found the fish market. And here's where you can buy all your fresh fish. All sorts of squid, and octopus, flounders, sardini. Lots of fish, I have no idea what they are. These different smelts, they're supposed to be a delicacy here, just like in Holland. Fresh flounder. Nice albacore tuna. You want to buy a whole fish? You can buy a whole fish, or they'll fillet it for you. Whichever you'd like. Here's your prawns. Okay, you don't ever or often see the scallops with the roe in the United States. It's a delicacy. So, you ever get a chance to eat one of these? They're absolutely off the charts. Really, really good. You've never had a scallop if you've had one of those. And they'll fillet it for you right there, no problem. You just tell them what you want, they're gonna do it for you with a smile. And there you have it. You want fresh fish, you come right on in here. And if you're wondering where it's located, those are the big stairs we came up, and then we walked all the way around this whole thing. This is the entranceway to downstairs to the meat market, and right across from that is your fish market. So there you have it. You now have the full tour of Dolomik Market. And again, I can't stress it enough. It's open every single day. If you want something here, get here early. The Zagreb Cathedral is the tallest building in Croatia with 180 meters or 355 feet. It is a Roman Catholic church from the 13th century built in the Gothic style. It has a status of a cathedral, and it is the most important church in Croatia. Jeannie says she doesn't think we're getting in, and I agree. It's all gated off, but we'll get a little closer and see if we can get some of this intricate architecture on video. Here's a perfect example of a lot of the renovations that's going on. You can see over there a lot of things that have fallen, a lot of pieces that are going to need to be put back together. They know where everything goes. Just kind of like a big puzzle. Here's a good example of what the original on the right looked like and what the restored new version that they're going to put in on the left looks like. As you can see over here, most of this is all the original part of the cathedral. And then as you get over here, it's more of the restored part. You can take your mask off. Okay, let's get on the mask subject here in Croatia. So, when you're outside, they don't believe in masks. When you go inside any store, cafe, restaurant, anything, you put a mask on. Outside, when there's fresh air, no need. We're not positive, but we believe the COVID rate is very, very low here, and we're not really that worried.
It's not really that crowded.
Yeah, for a city, it certainly is not that crowded, especially since it's August and it's the height of tourist season. So
Very quiet here too.
it is very quiet. People are just generally not loud. The other thing is a lot of people overlook Zagreb and go directly to the coast. And that, in our opinion, that's a huge mistake because you miss a lot of this beautiful city. And it's definitely, we're here for 5 days, and it took us a day and a half just to unwind. So that leaves us another 2.5, 3 days left and to explore it. And we absolutely think that Zagreb, the city of Zagreb, is worth 3 days. So if what we're showing you is nice, absolutely come. Okay, this is the famous Calciva Street, and back in the day there was a river that ran right through it. We're going to take a walk up it. We're going to do some shoot some footage, and then I'll give you a little history about it. Originally, Zagreb existed as two individual towns separated by a creek down the middle. Capital, which was inhabited primarily by the clergy and which houses the Zagreb famous cathedral, and Gradec, inhabited mainly by the farmers, merchants, and artists. These two towns were united in 1851 when they covered the creek and Calciva Street was created. At the time, it was famous as a red light district full of brothels. Today, it is a popular pedestrian street lined with cafes, restaurants, and small shops on both sides. Jeannie and I are on our way in search of the stone arch, which I believe historically was the entranceway to Zagreb back in the day when it was all walled off or what have you, in order to get into the city. Nevertheless, even if we don't find it, this is still beautiful.
Oh, we'll find it all right.
Just to let you know, we're both sweating a lot. It is hot here in Zagreb. Jeannie, what would you say the temperature is right now?
90? I don't know. I can't tell because I'm using GPS on my watch.
It's beautiful weather, that's for sure.
It's like 88 to 90 degrees.
Right. So we found out that you go this way, up the street, and here is the archway gate, which will bring us to the St. Mark's Church, which is something else we're looking for. The stone gate is the only remaining gate from the old city wall of the town of Gradec, one of the two old towns that we told you about before of today's Zagreb. This gate was built in the 13th century, and besides being a historic gate, they served as an open-air chapel. If you come here, take a moment, light a candle, and pray for the health, happiness, and good luck and love for someone else. I believe there you have it. So the lady at the very bottom in the stone arch said that if we came up this street and took a right here, the church of St. Mark's would be right here on the right. And sure enough, here it is. I do not see any way of getting in. But it is indeed gorgeous. Look at that tiling with the Croatian flags. There was a small scale terrorism, right? So they erected various restrict the movement. And usually before that, they probably were going to remove it again. This tower was built in the 13th century to guard the southern gate of Gradec town wall. It was named after the bell in the tower that rang every evening before the town gates closed. Later, the town served as a prison. Nowadays, it houses a gallery and an art shop, and the view from the top is well worth the climb. This tower also holds one of Zagreb's landmarks, the Zagreb cannon named Grik. The cannon fires every day at noon, but since the earthquake, it hasn't fired for over a year. And here's your tram ride. It's stated that this could be the shortest tram ride in the whole world. I'll give you the specs a little bit later. But what it does is, instead of taking the stairs, it just brings you straight up to the top and drops you off right here at this building. And then you can just walk over to this tower and walk all the way up to this observation deck where I'm at right now. And there you have it. This street right over here is the main street where all the cable cars come down, and they come straight through, right through this way, and then it'll bring you out to the city center that you're all familiar with right now, and there's your cathedral. Everything is walking distance. This is a very walkable city. Now, one other thing. If I had to guess from here where our apartment is located, I would venture to say that if you go over here, it's like right over there somewhere, about 2 blocks in. That's what I'm thinking. So it's just really close. There's a park there. There's that big park, the King Thomas Park is up there. Everything is indeed walking distance. We'll give you one more quick tour around. You got St. Mark's Church. Either that's a huge tour crowd or they're lined up to do something, not quite sure, but we're not getting involved in that. But that church is beautiful. St. Mark's Church is beautiful. Look at those crests. And the surrounding mountains that surround the city. And that's it. I'm going to go back downstairs and see Jeannie.